Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2.
Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Jerry Savage Court in the Knott Hall Performance Gym, live from Towson, Maryland. It's a chilly 40 degrees as the Loyola Dons take on the Calvert Hall Cardinals in this varsity basketball matchup. Good evening, everyone. I'm George Schaefer, joined courtside by Cole Cross. Cole, what can we expect from tonight's matchup?
It's going to be a very good game, one of the oldest rivalries by Catholic schools in the entire country, over a century old. Very good game, very good rivalry. There's going to be a lot of aggression on both sides, probably a little undisciplined today, given that rivalry, and it's just going to be a really good matchup overall.
Dons calling out their seniors as it is senior night for the Dons. They will be wearing their all white tonight, Calvert Hall in all red.
Landon Elser out there right now. He's gotten his chance to shine this season. He was out all of last season with a foot injury.
So as they'll wrap up their senior night call-outs, in a few moments we'll see the national anthem and the opening prayer. But until then, Cole, we had a chance to talk to both coaches earlier this evening. And what did you take away from that?
Both coaches are very excited for tonight's game. They want to see just good play overall by their teams.
I know we spoke to Calvert Hall head coach Gary Neal. And more of what he said was they're not going to be focusing on one single aspect of the Loyola team, but that they're preparing for everything. When we talked to head coach Josh Shursky of the Loyola side, his was more about guarding their sharpshooters, especially shooting guard Brendan Johnson, the senior, as well as their point guard Dean Mamaros, who have been an absolute threat. And they were crucial in Calvert Hall's defeat of the Loyola Dons earlier back in December. As now we see Jalen Brown out there for his call out. And so Cole, tonight there's a kind of tricky scenario for Loyola. They're in the BCL playoffs, but tonight they have to win against Calvert Hall to clinch a spot in the MIAA playoffs, and if they lose, they're out. So this is a must-win game for Loyola, part of why you see the performance gym here is absolutely packed.
Yeah, I mean, there's two possible playoff scenarios tonight to make the MIAA playoffs. There's our playoff, our win. If we win tonight, we make it. And then if we lose, we need Gilman to beat McDonough.
Wrap it up. back at it from Jerry Savage Court. As tip-off is just moments away, we just heard the national anthem. As they'll announce the starting lineups for both the Cardinals and the Dons. And tip-off will be just a few moments away. Starting for Calvert Hall tonight, it's going to be Brendan Johnson, Tyron Bazell, Dean Mamaros, James Trainham, and Isaiah Hammond. And for Loyola, it's going to be Mason Ellison, Jalen Brown, Marlon Williams, Deji Badalali, and Landon Elzer. And so, Cole, taking a look around the atmosphere here in Jerry Savage Court, it's different than what we've seen all season. This is the most highly anticipated matchup, packed game.
Yeah, the home advantage is a real thing, and it will have a massive effect on this game. Calvert Hall has to really focus and just stay in it, especially during free throws. Just don't get distracted by one of the largest Loyola Blakefield student sections we've ever seen for basketball.
We could see that the Calvert Hall home environment, they had an effect on Loyola back in December. This time, it's the other way around. Calvert Hall already out in the court, their starters, and Loyola will come out in a second.
Loyola's student section led right now by Declan Bell, the Dan McNeil Award winner and school president at Loyola.
For Calvert Hall, under the tip tonight, it's Isaiah Hammond, the forward and junior. He'll be facing off against Deji Badalali. And so the most highly anticipated game of the Loyola Dons basketball season is underway in a few moments. And we're underway. Calvert Hall's going to win the tip. James Trainham comes down with the ball. Tyron Bazell's going to make his way up the court. He's marked by Marlon Williams. Bazell into Dean Mamaros, the point guard. Trying to kick it out to Brendan Johnson. Johnson now guarded by Jalen Brown. He'll get a pick. Amaros. Corner three, no good from Bazell. And the referee's going to say it was off red. And it's going to be Loyola ball, starting with Deji Badalali.
James Tranham, the fourth, seemed to try to throw it off of Loyola Don there, but ended up hitting his own teammate, Isaiah Hammond.
And Marlon Williams was closely marked there. Calvert Hall running a full court press, trying to get into the Don's head early. That time it does not work. Marlon Williams going to work his way up the court, heavily guarded by Mamaros. He'll swing it over to Jalen Brown. Brown to Ellison. Drives into the paint. No look for him. Ellison from the corner. Off the front of the rim. And rebounded by Brendan Johnson. Johnson's going to take it to the corner. Swing it up top to Mamaros. Over to Bazell. Bazel's going to try and slow it down. Loyola with the possession as we're 1 minute into the game. Ball goes flying out of bounds. And they're going to say it's off Loyola. Ball with Bazell. To Mamaros. Back to Bazell. From the corner now is Johnson. Bazell again. They get it to Mamaros in the corner. He drives. Long two. Does not go. Shot clock expires and Loyola takes over. Here's Mason Ellison in the corner. Deji Badalali. They'll give it to Marlon Williams up top. Williams taking his time. They'll get it to Jalen Brown. Brown back up top to Williams. Makes a move, drives to the paint, and we have the first points of the night. A clean layup there from Marlon Williams as the Dons go on top, 2-0.
Took almost 2 minutes for the first points to be scored this game. Both teams being very patient, trying to make their shots count.
These Loyola Calvert Hall matchups have a history of being very defensive as Marlon Williams takes over. He drives into the paint. Clean block there, and they'll call this one a foul on the Dons.
There has been some early game sloppiness on Calvert Hall. Just shooting a pass towards Brendan Johnson.
And so the Dons tally their first foul of the night. And Deji Badalali is going to check out of the game. In comes Jesse Legree, the sophomore. He's marking Bazell. About 2.5 minutes into this game. Mamaros from the corner, back up to Johnson. Calvert Hall have yet to make a substitute change in the game. As Bazell drives to the hoop, and this one's going to be blocked. Isaiah Hammond couldn't get it, and it's going to be Loyola ball with Jalen Brown. 5:30 left to go in the first quarter. It's 2-0. Williams is going to work it up. Heavily marked by Mamaros. To Jalen Brown. Swings it in, does not get a foul. This time he does. He'll go to the line for the first shooting foul of the night.
Drawing fouls is something Jalen Brown does very well. I can't remember quite which game, but I know in one of the earlier games this season, he was up to the line like 20 times.
Brown has no trouble extending it to 3-0, and he is on the Calvert Hall side of the court, so he's going to hear a lot of noise from their student section, which is just as packed as the Loyola one.
Not just as, but they got their own guys out there.
4-0 lead now for the Dons as they're taking an early run. As we reach the 5-minute mark in quarter number 1, 4-0. Johnson up top. Calvert Hall looking for their first score of the night. They'll try and have it with Mamaros. He gets the layup, and Calvert Hall responds from the shooting foul. 4-2 Dons. We're now under 5 minutes to go. Williams up top. They'll give it to Jalen Brown. Now with Mason Ellison. Ellison over to Legree. Jesse Legree, who's been amazing from the three-point line tonight, he drives and does not go. Elzer gets the rebound. Wide open for Mason Ellison. Bang! Mason Ellison with the huge momentum shift. Dons go up 7-2.
This is a very, very good three-pointer. Wide open. No one on Calvert Hall was even guarding him.
The Dons take a 7-2 lead as we're now 4 minutes left to go. Mamaros tries to respond. Long two. Does not go. Legree with the rebound. Now with Marlon Williams, loses his dribble. Back up to Legree, now with Jalen Brown.
Don student section.
Legree from three. Another! Back-to-back. 10-2 Loyola. And they're on fire now as they take an 8-point lead.
Loyola on a very hot streak. Sloppiness on Calvert Hall side as well.
And student section letting them have it. This one goes out on Calvert Hall. Isaiah Hammond lost his dribble.
That home court advantage is real.
And Gary Neal's gonna sense the momentum shift and call the first time out of the night. 10-2 Loyola, 30-33 left to go. We're gonna stay on. So Cole, what do we make of this first 5 minutes of this game so far? Dons have an early lead.
I mean, it's definitely domination from the Dons. I'm having to talk over the student section here. Very loud crowd tonight. And just very good gameplay by the Dons. Two very good three-pointers. A two-pointer as well earlier on. It took a long time for points to get on the board.
One of the things that killed them this season was missing a lot of shots, crucial shots. And so far in this game, they've been absolutely on point and extremely accurate. So Jalen Brown to inbound right in front of the student section. And he'll look to give the ball to Marlon Williams.
The Don student section throwing rolls of toilet paper onto the court.
Williams is unmarked. Up top, he'll get it to Legree. Back to Williams. Ellison wide open for three. This time it goes off the backside of the rim, no good. But Tyron Bazell will take over. Bazell from up top. Drives into the paint. Hammond underneath. We'll get it up top to Bazell. Johnson drives into the paint. Outside and along to there. This is number 23, TJ Taggart, the center, 6'7" junior, as he checks in the game. Alongside number 3, Kerry Garrison. As this one is a no-go. 10-4 Loyola with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in quarter number 1. Bazell from up top. He has been in all game. So has Brendan Good and Isaiah Hammond. Bazell from 3. This one does not go, and Brown gets the rebound and the foul. A flagrant foul called on the Calvert Hall Cardinals. It's the second one for them of the night. Student section letting him have it, and Jesse Legree will inbound. Jesse Legree, the transfer from Calvert Hall, and so far he's had a night against them.
Yeah, he transferred to Loyola at the start of this academic year. Been a great addition to their roster. He also plays defensive back for football. Very athletic, very quick on his feet.
So swinging up top to Marlon Williams. Here's Legree from 3. That one looked obviously going in, and this time it goes off the rim, and there's Ellison! No words. There's Mason Ellison making it 12-4. Dons extend their lead back up to 8.
Mason
a
Ellison.
Crucial rebound.
Mason Ellison dunks a lot on this Dons offense. He got one dunk against Calvert Hall away earlier this season, and he already has one in the first quarter with time to spare.
And Brendan Good's going to draw a foul from Marlon Williams on the dribble. He smacked his wrist when he was trying to steal the ball. Bazell from up top. 1:30 left to go in quarter number 1. He pump fakes, gives it to Garrison. Now Bazell up top again. Brendan Johnson now. Inside the paint, another jumper. This one goes. It's JT Taggart. Cuts the lead to 6. 1:20 left to go. Marlon Williams from up top. Jalen Brown back to Williams. Miscommunication there. This one's picked up by Johnson. Johnson in the paint, loses his dribble, beats the block. His shot does not go, neither does Taggart's. And ball is still loose. A collision on the court. They're going to see who has it, and this one will probably be a jump ball, and it'll be Loyola ball as they have possession after losing the tip-off. So now we're under a minute left to go in the first quarter. Loyola leads 12-6. And Jalen Brown will inbound.
You can already see a lot of aggression happening on this court. Only 2 fouls to each side, which is a little impressive considering how aggressive they've been so far.
Loyola's usually gone behind in their first quarters, but this game is definitely different as they have all the momentum now. Shows you the difference an environment can make. As Marlon Williams' layup does not go. It'll be rebounded by Kerry Garrison. And Tyron Bazell will bring it up. 30 seconds left to go. Bazell drives into the paint. Long 2 and draws the shooting foul. Loyola's 3rd of the night. And Bazell will go to the line. Chance to cut this game to a 4-point deficit, which would be crucial now for the Cardinals. And they need him to make these 2. But he's on the Loyola side. First one goes. It's a 12-5 game. Sorry, 12-7, a 5-point game. And he'll take one more. Calvert Hall not going to try to get the layup or the rebound. And it's now a 12-8 game. Loyola has a lot of time to milk now for the rest of this quarter, as there's 20 seconds left in the shot clock, 25 in the quarter. So Marlon Williams is going to take all of his time. They're going to try and take this quarter to an end. Williams up top. Ellison back to Williams. Legree to Brown to Williams. Into the corner. Legree for three. Does not go. And the shot clock expires. And so does the quarter. So at the end of one, here at Jerry Savage Court, the Dons lead the Cardinals 12-8 on the Loyola Sports Network. Second quarter, Dons lead 12-8 as they absolutely dominated that first quarter, which was quite a surprise.
The Dons did lead Calvert Hall in the away game earlier this season. Calvert Hall didn't take the lead until the second half. It was tied 27-27 at halftime.
Now Tyron Bazell, who played all of the first quarter, back in. As is Brendan Good. Neither of them have gotten any bench time. And Garrison for three. This one goes in and out of the rim. And they're going to say it was off J.T. Taggart rather than Joe Nottingham of the Dons. So Jesse Legree will inbound. Actually, they're going to call it a foul on Calvert Hall, which is why Loyola has possession. Williams up top to Ellison. In the corner is Joe Nottingham. They'll bring it back up to Legree. Marlon Williams for three. This one does not go. Too far for Marlon Williams. As to Bazell loses his dribble. Back into Jalen Brown now. Draws the foul. And he'll go to the line for, I believe, the second time tonight.
Great defense by Mason Ellison, one of Loyola's star players. He plays very good defense. Gets a lot of turnovers. Also a lot of three-pointers and a lot of dunks as well.
And at this rate, Calvert Hall are about to hand a bonus to Loyola. As Jalen Brown extends the lead to 5, 13-8. Brown for a second. Calvert Hall student section not doing much to get in his head there as he does miss. 13-8, 7 minutes left to go in the first half. Here's Brendan Good up top. Out to Garrison. Brendan Johnson, sorry.
One of my favorite
Lazelle
fans in the student
does
section.
not go. Joe Notty gets the rebound. His first time in the game tonight. Jalen Brown. They'll give it to Marlon Williams up top. He wanted the three, did not take it. As this one goes off the hands of Marlon Williams, the referee will say he stepped out, and Calvert Hall will take possession. A quick blunder there from Marlon Williams loses them the ball. As Brendan Johnson will take it up. In the corner, that was number 10, Andre Moore. His first time in the game tonight. Legree from up top. Jalen Brown outside. He'll give it back to Legree. Legree looking for a man. He has Marlon Williams. Now Ellison. Ellison drives into the paint. Does not get the foul. He hangs onto the ball, though. And he gets the layup and one. And the referees are going to retract it. Say he wasn't fouled, but they did blow the whistle. And they're going to actually call it a foul on Loyola, I believe, so they didn't give him the points. Johnson now up top. Johnson for three, does not go. As Ellison will get the rebound, Jalen Brown did a fantastic job of hanging onto the ball. Ellison now. Legree has some room to work with, and he'll kick it out to Joe Nottingham. Allison now, Jalen Brown in the corner. They're swinging it up. Legree from 3, this one doesn't go either, and they've started to miss a few shots. Bazell drives into the paint. Wide open 2 for him, does not go. Calvert Hall missing a lot of shots tonight. And that one looked like it should have been a foul, no call. Ellison misses the layup. Here goes Johnson, this time he makes his. So it's a 13-10 game as Calvert Hall have cut the lead to 3 with 5 minutes left to go in the first half. Here's Jalen Brown up top.
First shot points in this quarter. It took almost 3 minutes. Only 1 free throw being scored the entire time.
Williams with the jumper 2, he gets it.
Moonball.
Great job there from Marlon Williams. He extends the lead to 5. It's 15-10, under 5 minutes to go. Moore from the corner. Here's Brendan Johnson up top. They'll get it out to Tyron Bazell. Bazell looking for some help.
Tell him to push.
He has JT Taggart in the paint. Kick it back outside to Moore. They'll call the travel and give the ball right back to the Dons. Adding on to a number of mistakes they've made tonight so far, as in comes James Foster, the point guard, checking in. And Isaiah Hammond checks back in as well. Legree's gonna bring it up. He has Marlon Williams. Legree, back out to Allison. All 3 of them are shooters. Allison looks, does not go. Loses his pass, a miscommunication, some visible frustration, and this layup is good. James Foster making an impact as soon as he gets in the game, and it's a 15-12 Dons lead with 4 minutes to go. Williams up top. Dons have been really taking their time. Jalen Brown for 3, his first go of the night. Off the rim twice and does not go in. And they're going to call it a foul, I think, on Loyola. I guess they knocked hands as he came down with the rebound, but Tyron Bazell will take it up. It's the first Dons foul of the quarter. They'll get it out to Bazell from the corner. Johnson for 3, does not go, as have all of them for him tonight. Hammond's shot doesn't go either. Loses the ball. Here comes Jalen Brown. Allison from up top. He's double teamed. Back to Allison. We'll get it to Jalen Brown. He's just outside the paint. Drives in, and the layup goes. 17-12 is the score as we approach the 3-minute mark in the half. Dons go back up by 5.
Jalen Brown, just about 35 more points to go until he reaches 1,000 career points.
Here's Bazell into the hoop. They're going to call it a shooting foul on Jalen Brown, but there was no shot.
Yeah, that's a bit questionable.
The foul was that they knocked into him when he was trying to pass the ball. So they're not going to call it a shooting foul, but they're going to stick with it. And Brendan Johnson will inbound from underneath. He has more from up top for 3. And this one goes. It's a 2-point game.
Quick threes are something Calvert Hall excels at.
17-15 as we are approaching 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Back up to Marlon Williams. They've been really playing from the outside today. So get it into Jalen Brown. Looking for help. Marlon Williams with a contested 3! And he's got it! 20-15, the Dons lead. He responds right back. And Tyron Bazell also responds, so now it's a 20-18 game. And they're going to say that he stepped out of bounds. They're calling Jesse Legree out of bounds. So Calvert Hall has the chance to tie or take the lead on this possession, which could be their first lead of the night and a huge momentum shift.
Jesse Legree had a very hot game earlier this season against St. Francis. 4 3-pointers against his brother.
So we're now under 2 minutes to go. Brendan Good from up top. Long two for him, goes, and this game is tied. Brendan Johnson. Jalen Brown under the hoop, he gets it and one.
Again, 1,000 career points, very close. Likely not this game, but if the Dons make the MIAA playoffs, they're already in the BCL playoffs. This is a very real goal for him.
And this is definitely one that Jalen Brown needs to make to extend the lead to 3. 1:40 left to go in the half after the Brendan Johnson shot to tie the game, and he will do so. Tyron Bazell. Johnson barely able to keep it in bounds. As this one he loses the ball, Johnson with the ball. He gets it into Hammond. He does not make the layup. Ellison now pushing the paint. A long jumper, and this one goes, 5-point game. And Bazell will take over. We're approaching the 1-minute mark in the half. Dons have all the momentum. Bazell works it up top. He has Brendan Johnson. Johnson double teamed. Bazell drives into the paint. Noddy misses the block. Hammond on the rebound. He does not go. How many rebounds does he miss tonight? As here goes Marlon Williams, Jalen Brown. Ellison with the corner three. Does not go. And I'm not sure if they called him out of bounds there or not. We couldn't see from the angle we're at, but there was definitely a whistle. They're going to call it a shooting foul on Calvert Hall. They're 4th of the night. They're 1 away from achieving a bonus, but there's only 40 seconds left in the half, so it should not have too much of an impact. Ellison
Still,
with a chance to make it a 6-point game. He does not do so.
In a game this close, I mean, bonus could give you, what, like 2 points? It's not that much, but in the long run, I mean, we've seen some very close games from the Dons this season, especially just recently. Their last game against McDonough on Wednesday came down to the wire. The last few minutes of the game were the decider.
And Ellison makes this one 26-25 with 45 left to go in the first half. Hammond will check out. JT Taggart will check in. Don's not going to make a change. I think Calvert Hall left Johnson and Bazell in, which means that if they don't come out in the next 47 seconds, that means they will have played the entire first half.
Yeah, they're going to be resting a lot during halftime.
I think the Dons have also had a few people play the entire first half. I know Marlon Williams has, I believe Jalen Brown and Mason Allison have 2, as this three is good. From Tyron Bazell, they cut it to 3. Dons do not have a shot clock, so they can run it down and take a 6-point lead or a 5-point lead. As Legree is going to dribble slowly up top. They approach the 10-second mark. Legree to Ellison, back to Legree. Williams now. Legree again. They're going back and forth. Legree will take the 3. Does not go. And we will go to halftime. 26-23 is your score. Dons up top. Stay tuned for the second half action. Coming back from the break on the Loyola Sports Network. at it. Second half coming up in about a minute or so, and the Dons lead 26-23. It's been a tight game so far. They started off really hot in the first quarter, and the Cardinals were able to claw themselves back into the game. Cole, what did you make of the first half so far?
I mean, the Dons have only a 3-point lead right now. They had an 8-point lead earlier in the game. 10-2 was like a score for a long time, went on a large scoring drive after that, but it's a very close game, and again, the Dons played well in the first half during the away game. The Cardinals never took the lead until the second half, but they ended up winning the game by, I think, 13 points. It was tied 27-27 at the half. Very similar score right now, 26-23. Yeah, final score away was 59-46. Calvert Hall won.
And 30 seconds to go until the second half. Loyola and Calvert Hall, always a tight matchup, and it's definitely been the matchup that we anticipated. And the Cardinals will take the court, as will the Dons. They're going to roll with their same starting five, minus Deji Badalali. But Landon Elzer is out there. Yeah, the only change to the lineup from the start was Jesse LeGree in for Deji Badalali. As for the Cardinals, same lineup for them, except Dean Mamaros is out and Hammond is in. LeGree. Now in the corner, Elzer kicks it out to Jalen Brown. He'll take it off the side of the rim and no good. Brendan Johnson taking it up. We'll get into Mamaros from the corner. No good on the layup for the Hall. Johnson takes it in and he gets the layup. They'll cut the lead to 1 as it is now 26-25. Jalen Brown up top. They'll get it to Marlon Williams. Williams out to LeGree. They'll get it into Jalen Brown and Elzer for the layup. In and out of the rim and no good. Now Tyron Brazel will take it up.
Something Coach Neal said for Calvert Hall, they need to focus on themselves, play how they know how to play.
And there's going to be a travel call on JT Taggart. Dons will retake possession. We're a minute in, and there's only been one score, and it came from the Cardinals.
Honestly, Calvert Hall has not been focusing on themselves right now. They've let the Dons get in their head. There's been sloppiness all throughout the first half. They're still keeping it close, but if they want to pull away and take the lead for the first time in this game, they're going to need to focus a lot more.
Gary Neal, he's going to take out Taggart after that travel and put in Isaiah Hammond. Here comes Brendan Johnson in trouble, and he'll draw the foul. And it's going to be on Jalen Brown. It's the first foul of the second half. So Bazell will inbound. He's marked by Marlon Williams. Mamaros up to Bazell. Bazell looking for some help. He has Brendan Johnson. And they're going to call it a charging foul on Brendan Johnson. They'll lose the ball. The shot does not count. And it's the first foul of this half for the Cardinals. Marlon Williams will take it up. And it's been an extremely tight game so far. Williams up top, now to Ellison. They're giving him some space. LeGree gets it into Jalen Brown. Back out to LeGree. And he'll draw the foul. So it should be inbounded from the side. And it'll be Jesse LeGree to inbound. LeGree gives it to Williams. They're giving him some space. Up top with Williams. Now Ellison. They're moving the ball around, looking for Elzer. Not there, Williams for three, in and out of the rim, and no good. Hammond with the rebound. As we're now approaching the 5-minute mark. Johnson for three, and this one makes a splash. Calvert Hall takes a 2-point lead, and it's their first of the entire night. Williams up top. Elzer back out to Williams. Jaylen Brown now from the top. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Jaylen Brown drives in. They'll call a travel on Brown. They'll lose the ball, and Calvert Hall is in a very favorable position right now to extend their lead.
They have the lead. Like I said, for the first time this night, a repeat of the first away game they played, which is not what Loyola wants. Because, of course, they came away. In the third quarter, they outscored the Dons by 13. Dons only scored 2 points that whole quarter.
Loyola trying to regain their momentum that they had in the first quarter. Spazel looks for the three. He does not go. Outside to Mamaros. Outside to Bazel now. He has Mamaros in the corner. Fakes the three, drives to the net, does not go. Hammond off the rebound, no surprise there. He's missed every single layup he's taken tonight. And so it results in Don's ball. They have a chance to tie or take the lead. Here comes Marlon Williams. Off to Legree. Into Jaylen Brown, and he will get the layup. Tie game now, it's 28-all. Morris to Bazel. So for the first time tonight, Brendan Johnson is out of the game. As this is a clear foul on Loyola, it's obviously not going to be contested, as James Trainum gets absolutely bodied while going up for this shot. And he'll go to the line for two. And it's the second foul on Loyola of the half. There are now 2 apiece with 4:30 left to go in the third quarter. And getting ready to check in is Cameron Wood.
Loyola student section is still very loud,
Freshman.
even from the other end of the court.
So Wood, the freshman, checks in. It's his first time in the game tonight, which makes you wonder if there's something wrong with Brendan Johnson. Actually, no, he's in the game. He also checked in. So Trainum will take the second free throw after missing his first, and the game remains tied if he misses.
Cameron Wood, the only freshman between both teams tonight.
And he is in the game now. Jaylen Brown to inbound it. Cardinals have a 1-point lead. The score is 29-28. Here's Legree now. Has a few options. He chooses Mason Ellison. Now Jaylen Brown into the net, trying to create some space for himself. They miss the foul, and Calvert Hall will regain possession with Brendan Johnson. He's making some room for himself. He drives and does not go. Elzer with the rebound. Here's Ellison, drives into the paint, a clear foul, and one. They grabbed his face, he couldn't see, and still made the layup. So they take a 1-point lead, and now they can extend it to 2, which is a huge foul. And I have no idea why Gary Neal is arguing it. They smacked him in the face as he took the shot. So he must have not had a good angle.
Yeah, that wasn't really a foul you can argue. The refs definitely made the right call on that one.
Allison, no trouble making it 31-29. So now Calvert Hall is down. There's been very many lead changes tonight. Legree from 3, does not go this time. Hammond will get the rebound. In comes Bazel. He loses his dribble. They're going to call it a foul. I believe the foul is on Landon Elzer. So they will inbound it from out of bounds. In comes JT Taggart. Hopes to redeem himself after the violation.
Looking at a possible bonus on both sides right now. 3 fouls each with 3:25 left in the quarter.
They'll get it to Taggart now. Back to Brendan Johnson outside. 31-29 is the score. 3:20 left to go. Johnson creates some space and knocks it down. Tie game. 3 minutes left to go. It's all tied up at 31. Ellison now outside to Williams. Back to Legree. Elser now with the ball. They'll get it to Williams. Now to Legree. Back to Ellison, trying to make some room for himself. A lot of passing now for the Dons as Jalen Brown goes under and does not make it. Here comes Johnson now. Has a lot of running momentum for him, and his jumper does not go.
Good ball movement back there from Jalen Brown. Didn't go in, but
Brown creating some room for himself. He goes up for the layup, and it does not go. Wanted a foul, did not get it. And a travel call on the freshman, Cameron Wood. Loyola will take over, and there will be a sub change.
it's Calvert Hall's second travel this game. They haven't had many. I mean, you really don't see travels too often in the MIAA.
Williams for three, in and out of the rim, just missed. Highly unfortunate for him. Brendan Johnson's gonna take it up. 2 minutes to go. In the third quarter, Johnson extends the lead. Calvert Hall now on top. 33-31 with 2 minutes to go. Williams is gonna slow it down. They'll get it to Brown. Now with Legree. Legree into Jalen Brown in the paint. Tries to make some room for himself and draws the foul. He'll go to the line with a chance to tie. So I think this is the fourth foul now for Calvert Hall this quarter, and the Dons are close to getting the bonus.
You know, George, we did some predictions before the game. We're already way past your prediction of 90-20 Loyola.
I think I may have been wrong.
Mr. Parr said 61-55 Loyola, and I thought it would be 59-53 Loyola. It's turning out to be much lower scoring, though. We'd be lucky to see even 50 on either side.
As Jalen Brown misses his free throw, but Loyola gets the rebound, so it's all good in the end. And they're gonna call a foul now on the Dons. I think they're calling a travel on Ellison. So Brendan Johnson will get it to Bazell. He'll take it up. 1:30 to go in the third quarter. The Cardinals lead 33-32. Both teams need to be careful not to get too many fouls. And excellent defense there by Jalen Brown. Ellison now races towards the basket, gets around and gets the layup. Dons have the lead. Here comes Brendan Johnson right back. Huge play there. And Johnson loses the basketball. They'll get it now to Bazell. They gotta slow it down. Dons fans making some noise. Here's Johnson up top. Trying to get some room for himself. Now to Bazell. Drives to the paint. And they're gonna call some sort of foul on the Dons. Not exactly sure what it was, but now they have 4. And the next foul that there is in this game, it will be a bonus for the other team.
Calvert Hall taking a shot for spoils there.
As we're now under a minute to go in the third quarter. 34-33, Loyola leads. Bazell hoping to change that. Big three for Bazell, way too low and off the mark. Jalen Brown now with the ball for the Dons. Uncontested now is Jesse Legree for 3. In and out. There have been a lot of in and out threes, which is just bad luck. Loyola need to be careful not to foul here in any way, because even a non-shooting foul will result in 2 shots for the Cardinals. 20 seconds now left to go, but 10 on the shot clock. So Brendan Good drives to the bucket. Don's now taking over, 10 seconds to go. Jalen Brown races to the bucket. Joe Nottingham makes a man miss. His shot does not go. And they're gonna call the foul on Calvert Hall. So it'll be Loyola ball underneath the bucket with 3 seconds to go.
It was a jump ball called.
They're gonna call it a jump ball, I don't know.
Yeah, Loyola fans begging for a foul there, but they still do get the ball back.
So Jesse LeGree will inbound it, which is smart because Jalen Brown can, so now the refs are gonna get together and dispute this call. And Carter Palmer is gonna get ready to check in for the Dons. 3 seconds left, they're gonna reverse the call, which I'm not even sure you can do. I mean, the call is the call. You can't, there's no replay.
Yeah, it's a jump ball. Loyola has possession.
Deji Batalali will come in, so will Carter Palmer. And out comes LeGree and Jalen Brown. Good. Throwing up a Hail Mary, and the Dons retain their lead. They've ended all 3 quarters so far with the lead. They just need to do it one more time as they lead 34-33 on the Loyola Sports Network. Go as we are starting the 4th quarter. 3 down, 1 to go. So 34-33, Dons lead the Cardinals. Jalen Brown will inbound. Marlon Williams up top to Mason Ellison. Now Williams to LeGree. Back up to Marlon Williams. Here's Ellison. Williams again. Brown inside the paint. Takes a jumper, does not go, and it's rebounded by JT Taggart. Brendan Johnson now to Tyron Bazell. Bazell up top, in the paint. Almost airballs his jumper, and a foul. It should be a charging foul on the Cardinals. And Jalen Brown and Marlon Williams will take it over from their own backcourt.
Something Loyola definitely has improved on this game is their free throws. They were, I believe, under 50% in free throws when they played Calvert Hall earlier this season. They've picked it up a lot. They've made, I believe, almost all of them this game.
Now LeGree into Jalen Brown. Keeps it in bounds under the paint. Gets his own rebound, and a clear flagrant foul there on JT Taggart. How do you miss that? Ellison now up top. Drives to the hoop, doesn't matter. 36-33 is the score as the Dons go up by 3, under 7 to go in the game. As Tyron Bazell up top, marked by Williams, now LeGree. Under the corner, it's Moore for 3, air balls it, and they're gonna say this went off of Calvert Hall, so Loyola will take over. That one could have gone either way. And here's Jesse LeGree to take it up top. LeGree now, Williams, Back to Legree, a no-look pass for Ellison outside. Bang! He does it again. Huge lead for the Dons as they go up 39-33 with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to go.
It's his third three-pointer this night.
And a timeout called by Gary Neal. His second one called of the night. The Dons lead by 6 with 6 minutes to go. And Cole, what do you think Calvert Hall needs to do right now to get their way back into this game? They only have 6 minutes to do it.
I mean, they're only 6 points behind. A lot can happen in these 6 minutes and 14 seconds, but really just stay on defense. I mean, Isaiah Hammond was doing great on defense earlier. He was blocking some of Loyola's best players like Mason Ellison, Jesse Legree, Jalen Brown. Honestly, I say put him back in. JT Taggart's a very good center, but he's been letting a few of Loyola's guys through, letting them get layups.
On the other hand, Isaiah Hammond has missed a lot of layups.
That's true, so.
It's all about, and the rebounds have been an issue for the Cardinals as well. Loyola obviously beating them in the rebound battle. They lead 39-33 with 6:14 left to go. Loyola sticking with the same 5. Calvert Hall going to make a few changes. In comes Terry Fields, number 20. And Andre Moore is also in the game. Bazell will inbound. He has Brendan Johnson. Johnson heavily marked by his former teammate, Jesse Legree. Legree gets a good pick from Taggart. Johnson for 3, and he airballs it. It goes off the backboard. And another miss for the Calvert Hall Cardinals. It's been the story of their offensive play tonight. They're doing a full court press now. Ellison with the ball. He'll hand it off to Marlon Williams, marked by Andre Moore. Williams from up top. Approaching the 5-minute mark. As Ellison goes for 3 again, a little bit too far to his right. And this one goes off Calvert Hall, off the hands of JT Taggart. Really good play there from Joe Nottingham to keep it in bounds. Didn't expect it to work though, Cole.
Yeah, JT Taggart, I mean, again, sloppiness on his part.
No, that's good. As Ellison goes from 3, this one goes off the back rim. Bazell heavily marked by Jesse Legree. And he's really feeling himself tonight against his former team. As Brendan Johnson tries to create some space against Mason Ellison, no can do, and he draws a foul. It is a clear foul. And it's the first foul of the quarter against the Dons as they still maintain their lead. This one is on both Mason Ellison and Jesse Legree. Bazell to Moore, back to Bazell. By himself up top. He'll get it to Johnson for 3, finally makes one, and he cuts the game to 3. With 5 minutes left, the Dons lead 39-36. And it is definitely the close game that we expected it to be. You notice in the fourth quarter, both teams switched to a full-on, full-court press, and they've been heavily marking it as Brendan Johnson steals away this pass. And the ball's punched out by Jalen Brown. Excellent defense in the transition game, which is where another area where Calvert Hall has struggled. So as now we're under 5 minutes left to go in the game. Dons lead by 3. And the new sub, James Foster, to inbound. He has number 20, Terry Fields. Now Johnson for 3, gets past Ellison. This one does not go. Brown gets the rebound. He beats Fields. Here's Marlon Williams bringing it up top. He missed all of last season due to a knee injury, and he's had his best season this year coming back. Brown to Legree. A lot of space for Legree. Tries to create some more. A jumper from him does not go. Big opportunity now for Brendan Johnson to put his Cardinals on top. This 3 goes in and out. And it's going to be a shooting foul against JT Taggart off of the rebound. and James Foster's three was unfortunately in and out for him. But JT Taggart, the center, will go to the line. He has the opportunity to cut this to a 1-point game with 4 minutes remaining. Taggart sinks the first one. It's a 2-point game now. This Taggart again. He goes, and this one is in. Here's Jesse Legree. He's being heavily marked. Legree pushing for the three-point line. He gives it off to Jalen Brown. Brown trying to create some space for himself right inside the arc. His shot does not go. Rebounded by Foster. Foster now to Johnson in the middle. And it's a charging foul. Johnson not happy. And that was crucial, as that layup or the free throws, that would have given Calvert Hall the lead. So a big call there for Loyola, as Jesse Legree will take over. And again, Cardinals sticking with their full court presses. Now Marlon Williams is going to bring it up. Marked by Foster. Williams trying to get some help. Approaching the 10-second mark on the shot clock. Now Ellison with the ball. This one should be a shooting foul. They're going to call the foul on Calvert Hall, I believe. And Legree will inbound from underneath the net. 20 seconds to go as the shot clock resets. 3:28 left in the game, and the Dons have a big opportunity to put a nail in the coffin here, potentially. Or as we should say, the first nail in the coffin, if they can have a big play in this possession. Ellison underneath the hoop, does not go, draws the foul. Number 4 for Calvert Hall. They're rapidly approaching the bonus, which would be a huge blow to their comeback effort.
Especially since if Loyola keeps the lead, they're going to have to start fouling a lot, and if Loyola gets a shot off every single time they take a foul, that's going to make it a lot more difficult.
Ellison hits. 40-38 is the score.
And George, you look at that score, you would think it's maybe early third quarter, just based off the score alone. It's been very, very low scoring. Very good defensive games.
Most of the time these two teams meet, it's a defensive game. It's only a 3-point game, so these have always been some close defensive battles. As Tyron Bazell, marked by Legree, he's creating some space for himself, some good moves. They'll get it up top to Johnson. Legree doing all he can on defense. A lot of space for Johnson. His feet were not set, as Ellison now pushes for the paint. He'll slow it down and try and get a possession in. Legree had the opportunity for a three and did not bite. As we're now approaching 2 minutes left to go in the game, the Dons lead by 3. They'll get it to Jalen Brown up top. Now with Ellison. Ellison airballs the short 2, and they're going to call it out of bounds on Loyola, so Calvert Hall will take over, and another timeout taken by Gary Neal. With 2:30 left to go, this game is coming down to the wire, Cole.
Yeah, Gary Neal has been pretty good with timeouts, honestly. He's been calling it when Loyola gets momentum.
The Don student section creating their own version of the Georgia Bulldogs chant.
A lot of familiar college chants you may hear from that student section. Another popular one is the "We Are Penn State."
Their own rendition of it.
We are Blakefield.
As Brendan Johnson will inbound. Huge opportunity here for the Cardinals. They need big points on this possession. We're approaching 2 minutes left to go, so every possession here is going to be a deciding factor in this game. JT Taggart, who's doing a great job creating some space for Brendan Johnson with his picks. They'll get it to Bazell. Long three for him. Does not go. That would have tied the game. Marlon Williams takes over. He's got Mason Allison, who hesitates and does not take the three. Now Williams in the corner. This one goes! Another nail in the coffin for Marlon Williams from the corner. It's now 44-38. Absolutely electric from him.
The Dons, amazing momentum.
And Mason Allison steals away this pass, does not get the foul, and this game is going very well for the Dons now. As we're approaching the 1 minute mark of this game, they lead by 6. Timeout called by Sersky. It's his first of the night, and it comes with 1 minute left to go in this game.
And Loyola slowing it down a lot. Of course, I mean, for good reason. They have a 6-point lead. 1 minute 22 left on the clock. Calvert Hall is going to start having foul. Then they're going to give them the bonus on the first foul, and then every foul after that, Loyola is going to get a shot off.
Minute 22 left to go. Cardinals have possession. They also have a 6-point deficit and are 1 foul away from giving Loyola a bonus. Not a great situation to be in if you're Calvert Hall.
And again, if this is one of your first basketball games tuning in this season, they did change the bonus rules. 5 fouls for a bonus, no double bonus. It resets every quarter.
Minute 22. So coming out of this, it's going to be all keeping possession for Loyola. Not a lot of passes and definitely no three-pointers. And for Calvert Hall, eventually they're going to have to start fouling, which is what they dread at this point in the game.
I mean, as like these next few like tens of seconds, these next few 20 seconds or so, what they'd like to do is really try to force turnovers so they won't have to foul.
Brown's going to inbound. He has Legree. Legree marked by Bazell. And this pass is intercepted there by Brendan Johnson. And he gets the foul, a huge blow there for the Dons. Mason Ellison didn't see the pass coming. I think this foul is going to go the other way, and it's going to be on Calvert Hall. Never mind. I think Calvert Hall was upset it wasn't a shooting foul. So Foster's going to inbound. They need a 3 here. So Foster's going to find Fields. Back outside to Johnson. Losing his footing, and he gets in with the layup. It's a 4-point game, and Gary Neal's going to call a timeout with 1:02 left to go. So by no means is this game over for Calvert Hall.
There's still a minute left. We've seen a lot can happen in the last minute. If any of you watch college basketball, that Butler-Creighton game a few weeks ago, that came down to the last few seconds. I believe the last 10 seconds or so lasted about 10 minutes real time. A lot of back and forth, a lot of fouls.
A lot of strategic fouling there, too. So we may see something similar here, as this game is looking identical to the game that we saw last year here at Jerry Savage Court, where Jaylen Brown walked it off with a layup within the final seconds.
A buzzer beater.
So the Dons, if this result stands, they're a minute away from a playoff berth in the MIAA playoffs. They hope to punch their ticket in the final seconds of this one.
If Calvert Hall does come back, they still have a safety option if Gilman beats McDonough. Not too likely, but it is very possible. I believe they're playing right now, but there is no live stream that I could find. Of course, you never want to rely on other teams to make the playoffs.
Jaylen Brown will inbound. He looks for a man. He has Ellison. And another timeout called by Coach Sersky. He didn't like the look he had We're now under a minute left to go in this game, and it's his second time out of the night, and they've all come within the past few seconds. 58-7 to go here. Dons lead 44-40.
I mean, imagine how cool it would be if Calvert Hall could come up, lead by 1 with a few seconds left, and Loyola scores another buzzer beater to win the game. And of course, that's what happened last year. Called by Brooks Markle, who's now up doing our cameraman work.
So with 58 seconds to go, 4-point game, Dons need to hang on to the ball. And obviously Calvert Hall has 3 of their guys inside the Loyola paint. Brown's gonna find Legree. Calvert Hall hasn't resorted to the fouling technique yet, as Legree is gonna push forward. Looking for an open man. Williams is gonna call for the ball in the paint. He doesn't seem to be too open right now though.
Calvert Hall still trying to force turnovers. Brendan Johnson forced 1 with a minute 30 left.
Ball goes to Jalen Brown, underneath to Joe Nottingham. And there's another nail in the coffin. They go up by 6 with 30 left. And Gary Neal's gonna call a timeout, but this one's looking very slim chance now for the Cardinals. The Dons are just 30 seconds away from punching their ticket.
It is still a 2-possession game. The Dons looking very solid, but they still have to stay in it, especially in these last few minutes. They're crucial, possibly the most important 32.1 seconds in this entire game are coming up. Loyola student section very into it right now.
That basket from Joe Nottingham all but maybe, hopefully, iced the game.
Let's hope we don't experience a classic commentator's curse there.
Yeah, let's hope not. I'm knocking on wood right now. And so I think that should be about it for timeouts tonight. Loyola do not make a change. Calvert Hall, they put in Andre Moore, and they put in Kerry Garrison. They're keeping in Johnson and Bazell. Bazell, I think, has played like all game, and I think Johnson came out for like 30 seconds maybe.
Yeah, Johnson and Bazell, very good players on Calvert Hall's
I think
side.
Loyola has really rocked with their starters all game as well. Bazell marked by Legree. Bazell creating some room for himself. He kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson for 3. Does not go off the backside of the rim. And obviously there will be a foul. So that's the bonus. And Ellison should be going to the line here. And if he gets these 2, it's 48-40. And that should be the game.
Don student section swaying back and forth, singing Christmas songs right now.
Ellison makes the first. It's a 7-point game with 16 seconds, and the Cardinals need a miracle.
No, they're singing Silent Night. That's something they try to do during the away game, but lack of coordination, they're unable to.
Ellison will take his second shot. To formerly ice the game, and he does. Bazell now loses his dribble, trips over Legree. For 3, does not go. 5 seconds to go. This ball goes out of bounds. And ladies and gentlemen, the Loyola Dons are going to the playoffs.
Just 4.5 seconds left before it becomes official.
This one goes out of bounds again now, 1 second remaining. And they've done it! Loyola knock off Calvert Hall, and they punch their ticket to the playoffs.
McDonough
a comeback of a season, back-to-back wins to clutch up and make the playoffs. Josh Shursky can pat himself on the back. knowing they're back in the tournament.
If you're watching from McDonough for whatever reason, I'm sorry, you guys will not make playoffs no matter what the outcome tonight. Loyola Dons will be your 4th seed in the MIAA basketball playoffs.
Final score of 48-40, and from Cole Press, I'm George Schaefer, signing off for the Loyola Sports Network.